Hey everyone, this is Brandon and Pete from the Full Nelson Press. We just wanted to have a message prior to the show just to offer our condolences to the Hubbard family. John Hubbard, aka Brody Lee Luke Harper, had passed away. We won't really address it in the show at all, but we just wanted to put something ahead of time.
R.I.P. to one of the greats. You will be missed, and I was speechless. So
John Hubbard, he was an amazing wrestler, and from the stories that we saw from Instagram and Twitter over the last 24 hours has just been that he seems to be also an amazing person.
Rest in peace, sir. You will truly be missed.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Full Nelson Press. My name is Brandon Kirkpatrick. I'm here with my co-host Peter O'Brien. You can find him on Twitter at MVP360. You can find myself on Twitter at JohnnyJONNY_Tango. And you can follow the Full Nelson Press on Twitter at TFNP. Pete, how you doing, bud?
I am ready to review 2020.
Yeah, we're looking back. This is our award show. I don't know what to call these. They're not the Sammys or the Slammies, and I can't find like a good word to use with like the Full Nelson Press and award names. So it's just an award show.
It's an award show. We are the awards of awards for the awards of everyone who wants to be awarded.
Everyone that we award gets a free gift card, a $10 off your next Bennigan's purchase. We'll be mailing those out after the episode, I guess.
God, watch someone be like, "Where is it?" They'll be like, "What, Bennigan's?" Yeah, good luck finding one.
We're just going to go over some awards here. I don't know how many these are anymore, but we're just going to make this just a fun little episode of what we thought of 2020 between NXT, AEW, and WWE. First one we're going to go with is Most Improved Wrestler of 2020. Who'd you have, Pete?
I put Mr. Kyle O'Reilly.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
I like it. Like, he's been in the main event. Like, the dude, he's always been good. Just lately, he's gotten up to that tier of, like, he can main event now. Like, he can have a singles run. I would watch him. Like, yeah, I dug it. I dug it. Plus, that Balor match with him was just awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we will be talking about that again. My most improved wrestler, I went with Roman Reigns because generally, like, just how he's been perceived by the WWE universe has almost flipped.
I would say, yeah, I was thinking him, but like he's still really good in the ring, and he's always been a main eventer. This just made him like cooler, but I wouldn't say he like improved.
It's the cool factor. I think it improved his coolness.
Yeah, he's cool, the cool guy, jacket guy.
All right, so next is the storyline of the year. I'm going to go with leading up to the Dark Order's Chosen One. That whole get was, I think, one of the most entertaining parts of wrestling this year.
Yeah, I really like that. I also dug, mine was the whole Kenny Omega turning heel and the slow burn they did in AEW. With him and Hangman and him and the Elite and him slowly changing throughout the year. And now he's just that cocky dude who's taking the belt to Impact. Like, I love the Kenny Omega heel turn storyline. Loved it.
That's a good one. OMG Moment of the Year. What'd you go with?
Oh my God, you're going to hate me for this. Because we expected...
If it's Otis winning the Money in the Bank,
shut your
I'm
face.
Done.
So, we expected nothing out of this. Now, granted, we just watched Bray Wyatt get set on fire. That was up there. Rey Mysterio getting thrown off a building. That was up there. Rey Mysterio losing his eye. That was up there. But I'm going to go kind of out of the box. And Pat McAfee doing a flip, like doing his backflip off the top rope and landing on his feet, and then doing a flip outside of the ring with someone we expected as another celebrity match of nothing. He put on a show, dude. And I got done with that match and I was like, oh my God, like that was decent. Oh my God, moment of the year.
Okay, I went with Edge returning to the Rumble, but I could see how Pat Mac is far up is that.
Yeah, like, because Edge was crazy too.
I guess, right?
Yeah, that was nuts, but it was another celebrity match that left my jaw on the floor of just like, oh my god, like that was actually good. It wasn't like Snooki sneaking in for a pin. It wasn't like Hugh Jackman just doing one punch. Like this dude put on a match against Adam Cole, and it was good.
Yeah, I went with Edge's return. If you get a chance, go back and watch just that live reaction of the crowd when his music hits.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome. The 2020 Cringe Award, I went with the love angle between Lana and Liv Morgan.
Whew. So I have Lana, and I've just put all of it. Is that fair?
That's fair. I'll give you that
because
one.
It wasn't just the Liv Morgan Lana thing. You also had the Bobby Lashley marriage thing, which was awkward, and now you have...
Right, because the year starts with divorce, is how it started.
That's so... Wait, can you say Liv Morgan's love angle then? Wasn't that last year?
It was technically the last Raw of 2019.
Okay.
But the angle was
still in 2020. Okay. I think that's fair. I'll allow it. But I'll also put in there Lana going through tables, Lana getting cyberbullied and her going online, Lana losing her sponsorship for TikToks, and now the pouty, I don't get a chance Lana, and trying to make her into this baby face when she just stood there with her lipstick running. I'm sorry, like, the year of cringe with Lana, like, they just can't figure it out that you messed up when she was a Russian. You should have left them together. You should have not have tweaked them too much. It's not Lana's fault, like, that all this has happened to her.
She's almost getting more over because of all these tragedies.
She just put into this situation, and I'm just like, ugh, God, get this girl, like, a chance, or she needs to kind of walk away from WWE and just do a social media thing, because I think she'd make more money that way.
Maybe she just needs to be in a more caring company, like, put her in All Elite Wrestling for a little bit.
I would even go Impact.
Yeah, there you go.
She's put in such a hard spot, and every time I watch her, I'm supposed to feel something, and I don't, and I'm more just like, ugh. Okay.
So, feud of the year, what'd you go with, Pete?
Okay. My feud, Mox and Kingston, I was pumped. I really like that feud. Mox and Kingston had this realness to them when they were feuding that I was just like, okay, I'm into this. And I didn't really know who Eddie Kingston was. Because of this feud, made me watch more and more to see what he was going to say. Like, I thought this feud was great.
Okay, all right. I went with Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho because the whole thing was just entertaining. It was fun to watch. It's fun TV.
It was entertaining, and nobody really expected the comedic performance of Orange Cassidy to be like a really good wrestler. Like, especially for the crowd who didn't really know who Orange Cassidy was, which AEW was trying to branch into. You just literally showed everyone why Orange Cassidy is really good in the ring and why he's over with fans, and you could put him in bigger spots and not just be that comedic guy.
It was cool to see Chris Jericho recognize that and then utilize that through their entire feud, which is still somewhat off and ongoing because that's how AEW works. It's slow burns that just keep coming up back and forth and back and forth. I love it. So for pay-per-view of the year, I went with the Royal Rumble.
You know, I had the Royal Rumble up there, and I think that's the one I'm going to go with. I also wrote down War Games because I really liked it.
War Games was good too, but just the feel, if you watch it now, because I went back and rewatched the Royal Rumble, just the match, there was something in the air that the crowd almost knew that this was going to be a send-off for a while, because it was just a different flow. Brock Lesnar controlling the Rumble, Keith Lee, this is like the last time that he's like peak before like he starts falling down the fucking ranks of WWE, getting them to put over Drew McIntyre, and all of it in front of an awesome crowd. Like, this is by far, I think, the best pay-per-view of 2020.
And, AEW had a lot of really good ones too.
Sure.
I really like AEW, but this one, like, when you think about Edge coming back, you think about Bianca Belair cleaning house. Like, I was like, there's a star right there. Yeah, I thought the Rumble was well done. I just wish they didn't have as many matches. It really should just be the Rumble. And I think you'd be fine with having that as an event.
It's now that there's a male and a female Rumble, it's kind of turning into that.
Yeah.
Like, there's only a couple matches that they have, which are typically like world title matches, and then it's the Rumbles, which is I'm all about now.
Am I wrong that Lana, even in that, was cringy and like took someone's spot because someone got hurt?
Yep, that's exactly what it was. I mean, let's remember that Charlotte came back at TLC because Lana is fake injured. She's not really injured. So
God.
What's up with that?
Poor Lana.
Yep.
God.
Worst pay-per-view of 2020, I went with Extreme Rules because it had Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio in the eye for an eye match, the Swamp Fight match with Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Overall, the whole pay-per-view sucked.
Yeah, I had almost every event of WWE except for the Rumble because I'm sorry, there's been a lot of crap coming out of WWE's product this year. And you can say some of it's the pandemic, but why are other companies starting to flourish? And why are people tuning into those?
Not only other companies, but other wrestling companies are flourishing.
You're just watching muck get thrown out there. I wanted to say, like, the worst feud of the year is that stupid Rollins-Rey Mysterio crap. It was so old. You know what? Since I can't put my finger on which pay-per-view was the worst, I will say that one. I'll agree with you.
All right, so we're 2020 match of the year, Pete. What do you got?
Ooh, I put there Balor and O'Reilly.
Same here.
I don't see another match in all companies that had such hard-hitting storytelling match, like, in the ring. Like, it was great. Like, I'm sorry, that match, like, I was even watching it, like, I was so into that match. I loved it. AEW had a lot of good ones, too. You know, there was a lot of really good AEW matches, but, like, I mean, you could have put Young Bucks and, Dash and Dawson, like... That was up there. Like, I'm sorry, this match was crazy good.
It tore the house down. It had a story to it. It was a great match. Yeah, I think we even called it when we reviewed this episode or reviewed this match that this was going to be match of the year because it made you forget there wasn't an audience. Yeah. It was an awesome, awesome match. So tag team of 2020, Pete, who'd you pick?
Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros.
I went Lucha Bros. I think I don't see a better tag team in the ring than them. I think every match they're in is so entertaining. They're so good. And now, granted, they had their little one-on-one thing too, which was also great. But yeah,
which was great. Yeah.
I love the Lucha Bros. I think they are the best tag team in all of wrestling.
I think they're one of the best ones, but I went with a different route of who actually came out more ahead in 2020, and I went with the Hurt Business as the best tag team of 2020.
Oh, wow. It's really fresh in your head, huh?
Yeah, like, I truly think the Hurt Business wasn't even a thought a year from now. It was Bobby Lashley having a feud with Lana, and then there was fucking Cedric Alexander wasn't even a thought. MVP was just walking around in the back, and now they're one of the top stables. And it was a top stable that wasn't built like the Shield, but still, they're one of the top tag teams right now, and they have 3 belts under their team right now, which is cool.
They should add a woman's belt, and you know who would be a great addition to the Hurt Business?
Oh, don't.
Somebody who is feeling...
I'm having 2020 fatigue.
Glow.
Bring it to the flow.
Even on the award show, he gets it.
I get it in there, yep. She's wallowing, doing nothing. Put her on the Hurt Business and make her more serious. Give me a break. It would work.
All right, so Mrs. 2020, I went with Asuka. I think she was the workhorse. She became women's champ, tag champ, and Money in the Bank winner all in 2020.
She did a ton. Like, she was probably their most stable woman on the roster by far. And she was always on TV. No, everyone else was kind of dipping out here and there, blah, blah, blah. That was huge. You know what? I'm going to go with curveball. Shida.
Oh, okay.
Hikaru Shida, I would give for Woman of the Year. It was close. It was her, Asuka, and Io. Now I'm looking at my picks, and I'm just like, okay, I see what I did there. But try to tell me, like, Io was really great, too.
She chopped off the War Games cage in a trash can.
Give it all 3. I'm going all 3. They're all great. Like, all 3 of those women carried the divisions while everyone was out.
Okay, all right. So hang on. I got to write down how many more Bet Against gift cards I got to get. All right, Pete, who is your Mr. 2020?
My Mr. 2020 is Mr. Drew McIntyre.
Drew Mac, okay.
Drew wins the Rumble, beats Lesnar. When this pandemic started, he's carried the belt. For some reason, they had him drop it to Orton, I guess for record reasons.
Yeah, just to make him 2-time champ, I guess.
Now, like, I was looking at Balor, because I think Balor's on fire. I think Moxley's on fire. There's so many people. Kenny Omega is on fire. Cody Rhodes, who just announced he's going to have a baby. There is so much going on, but Drew McIntyre, for what the state of WWE has been in, I look at every match he's done, and all of them have been entertaining, and he's been an awesome champion. Mr. Drew McIntyre.
I agree. I had a hard time with this one going over either Drew McIntyre or Jon Moxley because I feel like Jon Moxley, not only did he be one of the top stars in wrestling, but he did it his own way. He did it without a company, where Drew McIntyre is very, like, the WWE is behind this man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got to go with Drew Mac. Every time we watch a pay-per-view, even when, like, he lost his title for one night, like, he still didn't look weak.
Yeah. Now, hopefully they can give him more edge and have him be more cussing and cocky and angry when, like, someone slaps him. He could walk the line of either angry or, like, a baby face perfectly.
Absolutely. I hate what they're doing with him and Sheamus right now, where they're like, are you
I
his
don't
buddy,
get it.
are you not his buddy?
Yeah.
They're both brutes.
Yeah, they're both brutes.
Badass dudes.
And stop giving Sheamus these corny lines. Just let Sheamus be a jerk.
Even if you put these two against each other, I'd still want them to still be a tag team where they're like, that's what we do. We fight. That's what we love to do. This whole dynamic of, but he's my best friend, how I have to turn on him, that doesn't have to work. It's fucking wrestling. It's why you're there.
Exactly.
So championship of the year, I went with the AEW World Championship because I felt like it was constantly being touted around as the championship. Every match that it was in actually had like a caliber to it. It wasn't like something like how years ago they would have like James Ellsworth take on the WWE title. Like you could actually tell that there's a contendership you have to go through to even touch that title.
Yep, I'm with you there. The AEW Championship means a ton. I'm glad Mac has it, and I'm glad Roman Reigns has it, but yeah, those belts I don't think carry the weight that AEW's championship belt does.
Not only does it have a weight to it, but when you look at that title, you could tell it's a heavy fucking title.
Yes.
Not like the flimsy WWE things where they're all the same, they're all identical. I hate it. The 2020 Dud of the Year, Pete. Who you going with?
Lana.
I'm
putting Lana up there. I'm sorry. Like,
I don't blame you.
I'm putting her with the cringe and the dud. Like, I was trying to think of other duds, like, such as the feud of Rey Mysterio. That was going to be up there. The big miss of, just Randy Orton and Edge. That match was so bad. But, like, when you look at the entire year and what encapsulates a dud, it's Lana. She's not connecting with the crowd as well with what they want to do with her. They're making her out to be just this little tag-along person. If you want her to be a powerhouse, give her a reason to be a powerhouse. Or have her be a manager of somebody, but don't make it like, oh, she's banging them. Like, have her just be a manager.
Right, because the other thing with this is it's not like people are frustrated with her ring ability. Like, she is improving.
Yeah, she's
slowly
getting better.
But surely. She is getting better. So it's not, you can tell her heart's in the business, or she wouldn't be doing some of these backhanded fucking segments on television.
But yeah, I'm sorry, Lana, you're done.
I went with Retribution.
They were right there too.
They
and
were
I'm just like, that was
and killed in 2020, man. That's how I'm seeing it.
It is a coin flip, but I have never seen a faction get hyped up the way they did, and they just whiffed. The booking of these people in WWE, you need to stop doing 50-50 booking. Maybe, and I hate to say it, and I don't know if it's copyrighted, but do like what AEW does with a win-loss record, because everything matters over there. Like, a win and a loss does matter. Even though wrestling's fake, they have it set up to where, okay, yeah, they actually do deserve a title shot. They're 15-3 right now.
It's the other thing is the dynamic of it all. Like, the storyline going on right now is Retribution is that Mustafa Ali wants to have Ricochet join them.
Yeah.
Why would you want to join them? Their faction is like, if you look at
suck.
their win-to-loss record, it's like 2-8. Like, what's the reason to join them?
It's like, we want chaos. And they're going around unplugging coffee machines, so when people go there and drink the coffee, it's cold. And they're like, gross! Retribution!
They were taking baseball bats to the AC unit on the roof of the fucking PC center, you know?
And we're just like, so?
Contrast that with the Dark Order, which I love the Dark Order. I don't take half them seriously. I don't think half the people in the Dark Order could be world champions, but they're still actively a threat on Dynamite.
If you look at Retribution, like in the whole aspect, you had Dominik Dijakovic that you've been building up in NXT. Why did you just change him? You have Mia Yim, who is fine, but you changed her. You have these other no-namers that no one really cares about. When NXT was infiltrating WWE, like, they took on everybody and they dominated. They destroyed rings. They did everything. And they didn't get 50-50 booked and didn't run away. Like, they attacked everybody. And you had Wade Barrett, who I still say is one of the most underutilized wrestling talents that they've ever had come through. Retribution is just a mess. And you have Ali, who could be good, but I'm sorry, Retribution, oof. You guys whipped hard.
It's almost a hurdle that Ali has to go over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I'm going with Retribution. What brand won this year, Pete?
AEW. Isn't even close. Yeah, I mean, maybe close with NXT, but it's AEW. Like, AEW built this machine that's now starting to roll really well with building a new match after someone loses. They just have it going. And you don't see everybody on TV all the time, so it keeps everyone fresh. And they just got Pac back at the end of the year.
Not only is AEW doing better when it comes to booking matches, there's not a fatigue when it comes to pay-per-views, but they also, it's a wrestling company that is successfully targeting a demographic and kicking ass there, which I think is really cool.
Which is probably why USA is a little pissed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think they're seeing a show that is on Wednesday nights outperforming on primetime Monday night.
A show that's better is the longest episodic show ever.
What do you think 2021 is gonna do to all three of these brands? WWE, NXT, AEW. I really think AEW is gonna continue to be more of a threat every week. I think NXT is just gonna be what it is. NXT is great.
They don't need to change.
They also, it easily can turn into a hot mess in NXT when you start taking talent away. And I think now that it is on Wednesday nights on television, it's no longer a performance center place. If you want to turn that into NXT UK, but I think focus on a roster there.
I think you're right there. I think NXT is fine. I think they just keep rolling the way they are. And now that you're seeing more WWE superstars come out and say, I'll go back down there. Like, I'd rather go back down there. Or I don't want to go to the main roster. It speaks volumes on what's happening on the main roster. That, like, why would they? It's kind of like, you know, right now with the college football playoff and how you have your 4 top teams. And even if you finish undefeated, you don't make the playoff. Like, it's a favoritism thing. And that's the same thing with WWE right now. So, like, why would you ever want to go up there? That's kind of a scary thing for the main roster, because they're like, well, that's how we used to get our talent. Now nobody wants to come up and wrestle with us. So now what?
Because the other thing is wrestling fans only have so much drive to watch so much wrestling.
11 hours right now. That's the total of everything. Because I even added Impact in there because Kenny Omega's going there.
So that's the thing. Like, it's too much. Confession time, 2020, I didn't watch a single fucking SmackDown.
Neither.
Not a single one. Because I can't. By the time I get to Friday, I've already watched Raw. I've watched NXT. I've watched AEW. I don't want to watch SmackDown. I'll read the highlights or watch the highlights on Twitter.
I have a confession as well. I maybe watched 20% of the Raws this year. I maybe watched one SmackDown, and I think that's when it just aired. I watch highlights because I don't want my life to be absorbed in wrestling all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, dude, like, it's just too much, and I enjoy it. I've watched every pay-per-view, which is fine. Like, and I go back and watch, if I see something that's like, you need to see this, it's like, okay, and then I go watch it. But the whole aspect of what's going on, and that's what wrestling fans, I think, are starting to do, because they're just, we're fried.
With Raw, I think about over half the Raws I've watched, I've started at as soon as Raw has ended, just so I could, all right, backstage segment, what's going on here? Get through this match, what's the ending? Backstage segment, what's going on here? I could skip this. This is just what the first 20 minutes of Raw was, so I could skip through this. You know, like, you can pick and choose. I can get 3 hours of Raw down into under 40 minutes. That's sad. I shouldn't have to watch it like that.
It speaks to what wrestling's doing. Dude, if you watch Raw live, there are commercial breaks that don't need to happen. There are so many recaps. It's like, if I watch this live, what is the point? I'm just going to see 12 more recaps of it. There's no flow to it. Like, AEW is so easy to watch. NXT is easy to watch. Now, NXT has that WWE aspect, so they show a lot of replays too, which I don't like, but it's hard to follow through. So, like, my big wrestling hope is, I hope they give us a break with pay-per-views, because it's too much. I don't care. If we have NXT and WWE, you do not need 2 a month. You just don't. And start writing people like off TV for a week and then have them come back the next week and build people that way. Because it's too much.
Right. The COVID thing can no longer be an excuse because
No.
we're almost a year into it. We're no longer doing house shows. You know, you're no longer letting your talent do Twitch streaming.
Yeah.
Only in, I guess, WWE sense. Like, you can do other things with these wrestlers then. You can utilize them better and put them on television more. It does. Asuka was my Woman of the Year because she was there every week. Do that with more wrestlers. A lot of these wrestlers are just sitting around in stale water.
That's the thing, is like, you have to watch Asuka, and she was great anyways, but like, I could have been fine with a week or two without her being there, even though she's the champ.
How many matches do we have where multiple championship holders were in a match that wasn't even for the title?
Exactly. Stop that. So there's a lot of stuff WWE could tweak to make it better next year, and I really hope they look at that. Because I really think it all strives from, one, we're burnt out. As wrestling fans, we're getting burnt out of all of this wrestling because there's too much good. So it's like a double-edged sword, but like, I don't need to see top stars every week. I want to see you build other stars, and I want to see it get better that way.
Right. Figure out a new way to draw your audience into watching your shows.
Yup.
But hey, AEW, you just keep being you,
Yeah,
bud.
you guys are fine. Just keep doing you. Sorry, there's a lot of our awards that went to WWE. It's just because WWE had like a lot more of those like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that Balor-O'Reilly match would have fit right in with AEW too.
Where we are at right now with AEW is great because we're not at the peak yet. We're watching this road continue to go, and I'm over the moon with it. But hey, man, that is the Full Nelson Press 2020. If you like our witty banner on sports entertainment, make sure you find the Full Nelson Press. We're on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere, any social media site that you're on. Search for the Full Nelson Press, and you'll find us. And maybe leave us a review, or use a thumbs up, or give us a whatever site you're on. Give us the positive thing of that, huh?
Yeah, huh?
Well, hey, that is it, man. Go watch some wrestling.
Yeah, bet. Happy New Year.